Me and Crawford are definitely in the talks. It went well, and our teams are still negotiating. I'm him. Like, yeah, talk that shit. Like, it don't matter, like, who I fight, who it is. Like, I don't take tune-ups. I don't need a tune-up. I don't care if I'm out 3 years.
Errol Spence finally comes out and breaks his silence on what's going on behind the scenes between him and Terence Crawford. I'm that dude. I'm him. I don't care how long I've been inactive. I'm coming. We're going to talk about it in this video. I'm going to let y'all know exactly what he had to say. I'm going to play the audio for y'all. But before we do that, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subbed to the channel. Y'all don't want to miss this one. The like button is free. So what the boxing world has been waiting for, Errol Spence, he finally comes out and he breaks his silence on exactly what's going on with Terence Crawford's situation. And, a lot of people seem like that they really not too interested in this fight because it's like that the media and everybody is playing with the fans' emotions. You coming out with all these fake dates. And Errol Spence talked about that also. Like I said, I'm going to play y'all the audio. People coming out with all these fake dates, knowing they lying, right? Just want to get some clicks, breaking their neck to be the first one to come out with the news, knowing that they don't really know, but crossing their fingers, praying and wishing that they got the correct news that they made up half of the time themselves. He talked about that, right? It's like turning fans off because, they fighting in June such and such, and they fighting in July, and they fighting in this day, and this is official this, and breaking news this, and breaking news that. And people just sick of hearing about it, right? It's like, is y'all gonna fight or y'all not gonna fight? If you're not gonna fight, move on. If you're gonna fight, just let everybody know, and everybody else need to shut up and stop acting like that they're the main source and they know everything going on, right? When the fighters in the fighters camp ain't came out and said nothing. And I continue to say that. But anyway, Errol Spence, man, he really opened up in this interview that he did with his lady, and he talked about a lot. He actually talked about, the Danny Garcia situation and things that I didn't even know. He said, in the Danny Garcia situation, he was dealing with a lot of demons, and vices that he couldn't let go. A lot of people thought that Errol Spence, after the car wreck, he started living a straight edge life. And he said, nah, it wasn't like that. He said that car wreck, it really didn't even make him change at the time. He said after that, he came out and he was like, hey, can't nothing touch me. Can't nothing touch me. He said it really didn't even hit him. He said he went and started continuing to do the same things that he was doing before. So leading up to the Danny Garcia fight, he said he still had a lot of demons and mental demons and just, things that he was dealing with in his life, along with all of the aches and pains that he had from the car accident physically. Everybody know the drinking and the partying and all that. Said he was still doing that leading up to the Danny Garcia fight, right? And that's something that actually surprised me that I didn't know. But he said, later on down the line, it really hit him like, hey, I gotta change. I gotta stop hanging out with these certain guys that I'm hanging out with. I gotta start, living my life different. And he said that's why he looked like a different fighter in the Ugas fight, And people saw that Errol Spence was a different monster in the Ugas fight. He said leading up to the Danny Garcia fight, he had to lose 90 pounds. He said he dreaded it. He was in a bad mood doing training camp. He ain't want nobody to talk to him. And he said, basically in the Sean Porter, the Danny Garcia fight, all those fights, he was just partying and living the life and having to just cut so much weight, and it was miserable. Say he ain't even like training. He didn't even really want to go through training camp, but he knew he had to, because the bag was too big. So he talked about a lot. And like I said, I'm going to play y'all the audio and let y'all hear what he talked about. But in Danny Garcia fight, he also said, look, I just knew that I could still beat Danny Garcia 60, 70, 80% of myself. I just knew, I was on a different level than him. And I'm on a different level than these guys. So it's kind of scary seeing Errol Spence disfocus and back to that dude with the shag, that end with the shag that we knew from back when he was fighting Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson is dangerous. And now we see why Terence Crawford wants to make everything perfect before he steps in the ring with Errol Spence and wants to get this man on the long layoff. But that's a whole different story. That's just my opinion, right? And he also let everybody know that the shag will be coming back. He didn't say when the shag is coming back, but he said it's coming back. And for those who don't know, Errol Spence trains every day. It's not oh, well, I don't have a fight lined up. I don't have training camp. He said, no, that's a part of his daily routine. Wake up, take his kids to school, and hit the gym every day. So it ain't like that Errol Spence been just chilling and partying and doing all of that, because I hear a lot of y'all ignorant dudes with these YouTube platforms and these channels, right? Talking about, oh man, Errol Spence, he ain't even training. He out of shape. That's a lie. He trains every day. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play y'all the audio and let y'all hear what he had to say about these things. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to cook on it with y'all.
Okay, does Floyd have a say-so on when you and Crawford fight?
No.
Where did that come from?
Just people speculating. Just like everybody has all these dates. Like they done had probably 15, 20 dates since the year started. Like, I mean,
Somebody was saying, was EJ fight next week? Next week?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody think Floyd say one little thing and people just run with it.
Well, your next fight, who we got?
Me and Crawford are definitely in the talks. You know, we've been talking, so hopefully it can be me and him.
We're going to start right into our negotiations going better than what they were before.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Crawford, when we was talking directly, we were probably on the phone for probably 40 minutes, 30 minutes, we probably spent probably 15 minutes talking about, the negotiation part and stuff like that. We just talking about, getting the feel for each other and, basically talking about our families and, current situations we had going on and stuff like that. And then we start talking about, boxing and us fighting and negotiations and things like that. But it went well, and our teams are still negotiating. We still having talks. So it's going very well. A lot of people just want me just to, oh man, that car accident was 43 years ago, man. You should be good. Like, you should be fighting every 4 or 5 months. But they don't realize, the toll on the body from not only a car wreck, but training camps and things like that, mentally and physically, especially the toll going all the way down to 147 pounds. That it does on my body, mentally too, and physically. So, like I said before, I used to dread training camps and dread getting ready for a fight, but knowing I just, that money too good to pass up.
Right.
It's a lot of me to pass up. People cut off their leg, cut off both their legs, to get the money that I'm getting. So I used to dread it, but I go through it, just sacrifice myself for the betterment of my family. I'm him, like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, talk that shit.
like it don't matter, like, who I fight, who it is. Like, I don't take tune-ups. I don't need a tune-up. I don't care if I'm out 3 years. Like, give me whoever you got. Like, I'm really him. If you line him up, I'm gonna knock him down.
Yeah.
Or I'm not scared of anybody or anything like that. I'm trying to fight the best competition out there. That's the whole reason why I'm trying to fight Crawford. I'm a man on my word, and like I said, after I get this third belt, I'm coming to him. Get all the belts on my side, then I'm coming to him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fight anybody else but him. So, that's part of the reason why, I'm sitting out this long too, because, there's just one person I'm trying to fight.
It's gonna happen.
So there we got it. We got our answer. The reason he's been inactive, like I've been telling people, right, and sitting out is because he don't want to fight nobody but Terence Crawford. He wants to fight the best. They say that Terence Crawford is pound for pound #1. Well, he's willing to sit out until Terence Crawford fights him, right? So Terence Crawford got to fight him or run off and duck off in the sunset somewhere because he's on your neck just like he said he was going to be. I'm going to get this third strap and I'm going after you. I want Terence Crawford and nobody else. Now we know why we didn't get an Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Now we also know, like I have been telling people, that Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, when they did announce it, they announced it for 154 because he just told everybody, look, it's hard for me to make the weight. I'm not going to make the weight unless it's Terence Crawford. I don't want nobody but him. It's Terence Crawford or nobody at 147. And that just is what it is. And so, you know, EJ, he's very, very persistent in on Terence Crawford's helmet. And he's not letting Terence Crawford give him no for an answer. But he did say, look, the negotiations is going well. They're going better than what they were before. And me and him, we talk on the phone. See, the difference between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is Errol Spence actually respects Terence Crawford, right? And he likes Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford envies Errol Spence. And he a hater of Errol Spence. Just listen to how they talk about each other. Errol Spence never says nothing negative about Terence Crawford. But when you hear Terence Crawford talk about Errol Spence, all you hear is jealousy, hate, and envy. It's a difference. You know what I'm talking about? But man, EJ talked about a lot in this interview. He also talked about that the teeth in his mouth, they're not real. They're partials in his mouth. So he glues them in and then they can come in and they come out. And so he said during the Ugas fight, it was embarrassing. He didn't want anybody to know. He said it's the first time he told anybody. He never want anybody to know that he got fake teeth, that his teeth can actually come out. Right? They're not veneers. They're partials. So what he said is he didn't want anybody to know. And he thought that Ugas knocked his teeth out. He said he wasn't hurt. He was just looking, trying to get his teeth before anybody noticed because he was like, man, that would have been embarrassing for the whole crowd to see his teeth laying on the ground. So it wasn't that Ugas hurt him because, and the reason I'm saying this because this is a talking point that all the Terence Crawford fans want to use. Man, he was hurt by Ugas. Look at his reaction. Say he wasn't hurt. He was just didn't want to get embarrassed thinking his teeth got knocked out because he said since he has a partial, his mouthpiece don't fit, and he was embarrassed to go to the dentist, right, to get a mouthpiece made. He was embarrassed to get a mouthpiece made because he ain't want nobody to know that his teeth was fake. But and that's kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny when you think about it, but it's embarrassing to him. Anyway, y'all go check out the interview. You know what I'm talking about? It's like I said, his girl did the interview, hell of an interview. He opened up about a lot of things, but I just wanted to share this with y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the information that I gave y'all. Let me know, do y'all think that Terence Crawford gonna stud up and take the fight? Do y'all think it's gonna happen? Let me know how y'all feel about everything. Drop a comment in the comment section, right? Hit my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
Take a bath or you put your ass on them seats.